I'm Tom Price. We're a seed stock operation, been in business since 1984 in Eastern Oregon. We produce Angus and Simmental Angus bulls to sell to other commercial cattlemen. We're a segment of the cattle industry. The health of the cattle is incredibly important. The health program requires a very in-depth vaccination program to protect them from numerous diseases. It also includes good nutrition.
My name is Andrew Turner. I'm the owner of Top Valley. We're a cattle feeding operation and farm. The farm and all the ground that we farm is producing products that we're feeding directly to our cattle. The biggest benefit to us in growing all of our own feed is the cost. It ends up costing a fraction to have this go straight up to our barn storage area versus buying it and having it trucked here or truck it ourselves.
I am Tor Griggs. I am a fifth generation rancher. I have a son, he's 15 years old. He started in 4-H, and then as he got older and hit high school, he was able to transition into the FFA program. Through the FFA, he's been able to learn about conformation of cattle, the effects it has on the meat industry, and how that impacts our community and globally even.
When you raise a steer, you have to buy it from the seller for market price. You raise it for 60 some days, and then you take it to fair, show it for 3 days, and then on the 4th day you sell it, and that's just a giant bid as you're walking around in the show ring.
Each year he goes back and he buys his own steer, he covers the cost of his own grain and the expenses that it comes into that animal. He sells it, he puts it in his savings account, and now he has a really nice savings account, and he is planning on taking that and going and getting a welding certification and be a fabricator. That impact just circles back around, and it's a direct impact of back into our community and supporting those kids.
We're using local resources of veterinarians, nutritionists, local feedlots, our fertilizers, our herbicides. It's all part of the business, and it's a major value to a local rural community. When you go to a restaurant, you expect a good eating experience. And the amount of effort that goes into producing that is significant. The average person does not realize how much care we go to look after our livestock. The heritability of some of these traits, such as eatability, tenderness, and marbling, are highly heritable traits. So we can select our animals for those traits so they have a better eating experience.
I am Jake Hines, owner of Hines Meat Company. We provide an array of different meats, and we make over 70 different sausages, both fresh and smoked. We make all our own pepperoni, bacons, hams. I believe that local is very important. We have all sorts of producers, from beef to lamb to bison to chicken, whatever it is, you name it, and it's all comes from here in Oregon, or Eastern Oregon even, where we're located. And I just believe in supporting the community because we're asking for their support back and shopping with us. And what better way to do that than selling their product as well.
Kelly Bullington. I'm co-owner of Oregon Grain Growers Brand Distillery here in Pendleton, Oregon. We partner with Hines Meat Company along with some other local companies to provide meat and products for our business. We own a distillery and a restaurant. Smaller communities, it's really important to support each other. So we really believe in community support. We love the feel of a butcher shop, that you can go talk to somebody and get something exactly what you want. You can get local meat. So it's really about supporting others in the community, trying to make a living.
Everybody wants to know where their food comes from. They want to put a face and like a name to who raised that meat. It feels better to eat something that you know was cared for. So we're trying to reintroduce locally raised meats back to our communities. And that's been my driving goal for the last 14 years.
Quality, I feel like, is a big issue when you're talking about local. People want that connection. They want to know where it came from, how was the animal treated, all those different things. We're very adamant about how the animals are treated and want to make sure that they get the utmost care. There's times where we're feeding pigs marshmallows in the back, and that's no lie. I mean, we know that they do become sustenance and meat for us. It doesn't mean that we can't be respectful of the animal all the way through it and try to use it to the best possibilities and not be wasteful as well.
Sustainability is a popular topic today. Weed management, grazing management, rotating pastures, making sure that we're not abusing the ground, not overgrazing, so that we're having a healthy plant population.
As far as being a closed loop cycle, all the byproducts like bones that's unused, trim off the carcass that doesn't go into ground beef, things like that, that all gets sent away, whether that's to a renderer, and oftentimes now it's to a dump. We've been able to close that system and keep those nutrients on farm here by being able to compost it, and then what we can't use off of them, we give back to the land.
We're really striving for like that full use of these animals. Currently, we are trying to start a compost where we're able to use completely everything from making pet food to compost to maybe even hides eventually someday.
You know, we're all dependent upon one another. It's all part of the business, and it's a major value to a local rural community.
You know, if it wasn't for these ranchers and these small town ranchers, you wouldn't have that steak in that restaurant. It doesn't just show up in your restaurant. It's got to be grown and raised somewhere.
I've always kind of thought of this whole operation as like bringing Oregon products back to Oregon. It's raised here for our people that are here, and it feels really good about being a cog in the wheel of that local community.